Hello dear. So before now, the Lord had drawn my attention to the story of Esther. Now, for most of us, when we think about Esther, what comes to our mind is marriage, beauty, being queen, and all of that. But beyond that, also realize that before Esther came into the picture, there was a queen who lost her crown. And as much as we desire to be Esthers, we should also avoid the mistake of Vashti. Now, I don't know the mental state Vashti was the day that the king called for her. I felt it was an extreme punishment that was given to Vashti. But when God was unveiling this story to me, he made me to understand that Vashti's offense was beyond her action. Vashti was in a place of influence and authority. It was her position that actually amplified her offense. There are some things I did as a younger believer that I cannot do right now. God will not take it from me, because by virtue of what he has invested in my life, God expects more from me. And this goes for every growing believer. You might be Esther and you might as well be Vashti. Do not toy with what God has put in your hands. Do not toy with the position that God has given to you. For most of us, God has put us in a position of influence and authority, but we are not mindful of our character. We are not mindful of our choice of words and our dress and all those things about our lives that people can actually pick from. If God is calling your attention to an area of your life that you actually need to work on, please pay attention to it and follow the instructions of the Holy Spirit. Now, this was the wisdom of Esther. Esther was a girl who listens. Esther was a girl who obeys. If you want to maintain your position or the grace that God has given to you, live a teachable life. Esther was a teachable girl. She didn't win the pageant because of beauty. Of course, she was beautiful, but there were other ladies that were even more beautiful than she was. So it was beyond her physical attributes. Esther was teachable. She listened to the king's chamberlain. And people who are proud, arrogant, insubordinate, those people don't last in their position, because nobody is irreplaceable. If God sees another person with a more humble heart, God will dethrone you and enthrone that person. This was the same thing that happened between Saul and David. David was a replacement for Saul. Esther was a replacement for Vashti. Many ladies are Vashtis, but they don't know. If God is calling your attention to an area of your life that you need to work on, please pay attention to it. There was a time in my life that the Holy Spirit pointed out a character flaw in me. I was that type of person that used to talk anyhow. It's not like I was too much of a talkative, but I was not mindful of my choice of words. And the Holy Spirit had to teach me. Like, I had to come under the mentorship of the Holy Spirit in order to learn how to talk and speak to people. I even read books on how to interact with people respectfully, because God made it clear to me that he wasn't going to use me if I don't learn how to talk. And the higher you go in life, the more slippery it gets, and therefore more caution is required to keep you in your position. He that thinks he stands, take heed lest he falls. And I pray that by the grace of God, we are all going to stand. None of us is going to fall, and none of us is going to be replaced. If you believe that this video can save somebody's life, can save somebody's crown, can save somebody's throne or somebody's marriage or anything, please like this video, drop a comment, and if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. My name is Ogiogara, and in this video I've made quite a number of videos. Please take a look at them and see you in my other videos.